My name is Helen Miller. I was born in 1918, and so that made me 11 when the Great Depression came on. Well, I remember it, even though I was not very old. It made a big impression all over the United States. And my father especially was quite disturbed over it because he was the one that had to bring in the money. And he said, he said the men were just lined up thick, thick, thick on Trent Avenue, and he just couldn't get over that. We were always rather frugal. I had 2 pairs of shoes. I had one to go to church with and one to go to school with. And of course, the church one, I had to have it big enough so that when I grew a little bit, I could wear it to school. So I can remember one of the girls came to school wearing her father's boots. I didn't feel deprived. I really didn't. Well, actually, the repression, this big thing wasn't over until we got into the war and they started putting the heavy industry in, and that's what got us out of the Depression. The war did it. The war did it.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin. The Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii by air, President Roosevelt has just announced.
I remember when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. I remember it right now. I can just hear it in my head. But then we thought, well, this is it. We're in it. I don't try to run the country. I just went along with it. If this is what was necessary, that's what we'll do. I was very wrapped up in learning what was going on. Well, I think everybody wanted the thing to go well. Who wants to be ruled by Hitler or Japan? I just thought it was just awful.
With every man utilized, we are still short millions of hands. We must call upon women. All over the United States, women are called upon to leave their homes and take jobs. Among our young unmarried women and among older women whose children are grown, we have a large reserve. They discover that factory work is usually no more difficult than housework.
Women were around and the men weren't, you know, so the women started taking over. I think women were kind of liberated at that time too. There were ration cards, and I did have them, and I followed the rules, and we lived. I mean, we had good meals, and we raised our kids, and I didn't feel that I was under a huge burden about it at all. The war was, it came over the radio because we didn't have television then. And so it came over the radio, and I went out and I went to my neighbors right next door and I said, "The war's over."
How did you feel when the war was over?
Oh, relieved. Oh, my. Of course, all I know is my own little, tiny little place up in the state of Washington. We helped one another. We didn't live very high, but everybody was the same, so nobody thought that was dreadful. And I was just happy to have music lessons and go to school, and I had enough clothes. I didn't hurt for them. I didn't feel deprived. I really didn't.